So my first poem, "The Mountain," um, this poem kind of like I hold close to me. It's about snowboarding. Snowboarding is a big part of my life, and I take a lot of pride in it. I've been doing it since I was probably in kindergarten, so a long time. This poem I just found really had just such a great imagery that I worked on, specifically with the actual visuals and the sounds that you experience going down a mountain, what you may see, and the feeling that you have. Um, it's crazy because on that mountain, you do feel just so alone, and yet, like, you look around, there are hundreds of people around you, and it's just a crazy feeling that you can be out there with so many other people that you just don't know, and yet, like, just feel like you're connected to them, but yet so far. It also talks about the dangers of snowboarding. How sometimes your um, emotions and your excitement that can get in the way and really cause you to throw caution to the wind. And I don't know if everyone know if like you guys know, but snowboarding is or even skiing is very dangerous. Like if you don't use caution, many people have died from it. Many people have gotten seriously injured. But it's that when you throw the caution to the wind is when you truly enjoy yourself and feel free going down that mountain. And it's honestly just a great feeling because you don't really know if you're going to make it to the bottom safely. And it's that risk that makes you feel alive. Um, my second poem is called The Crash. Um, this poem um, is pretty short. Um, it talks about a instance that I had last summer coming back from a house in Hunter Mountain in the Catskills. And as I was coming home, my brake line actually broke. As I was going down a mountainside, one lane each side. Um, it was absolutely terrifying, and I only had my cousin in the car with me, and we both thought, "Geez, like we've been doing this drive for 10 plus years, and we've always talked about this being the worst possible place for it to happen, and yet it did happen to us. And where do we go from here? Like, we're going down. We traveled a full mile with no brakes in a loaded SUV. We picked up speed very quick, and our fear skyrocketed. Um, literally, in the towards the end, it says, "Smash to your left or fall to your right." There were just rocks on your left that you'd smash into and possibly get pushed over, or there's that small guardrail that a truck can pile right through. And right on that right side, there was over 100-foot drop that we were really trying to avoid. And I ended this one seriously with a question because that entire time that we were going down, we were just questioning, like, what do you do? Do you crash? That's the only option. But how do you crash it? What is the best way to go about it? And we've been very different and very appreciative of our lives because really we thought that was it. Um, so, on a bit of a lighter note, my last poem is called Falling for You. This poem is actually about my boyfriend. Um, I have recently come out as part of the LGBTQ community, and accepting it was very hard growing up. I grew up in a very small, close knit community that was very conservative, and everyone just knew everyone's business. And when someone would come out in the neighborhood, it was kind of like a big deal. People would talk about them, not necessarily just bad things, but like curious things like, how did I not see that? What is going on? Like, is it just a phase? And I really just couldn't deal with having my whole neighborhood know all about my business, and I was terrified of that. But as I grew up and truly started to understand what it was and realize what it is, um, I just became comfortable with it and thought, this is my life. Like, you got to live it the way you want and not necessarily live for anyone else. However, that idea kind of changed when I met Jack. He really has just pushed me to be just an all around amazing, great person that I wanted to try to be before, but could never really reach until I had him by my side. And it's just a really great thing that I'm now having that's just so new that I really wanted to make my last poem about him. Um, it's weird just growing up, like not knowing who you are and just trying to be so many things for all these other people when really all you need to be is yourself for that other person. And it's crazy that when you just find that person and you're in sync, that things just work and there's nothing stopping you. And it's honestly just, it's weird to say, but it's just so beautiful because I finally feel in love for the first time. And I'm just glad it's with him. So, thank you for listening to my poems, and thank you for a great year. Take care, everyone.